Good afternoon and welcome to the final Solent Sports News from this MA cohort. We're going to start with football. This weekend, Southampton face a Chelsea side with a point to prove. Saints ended their losing streak with a 1-1 draw at Leeds United on Saturday. James Ward-Prowse doing what he does best from another set piece. Chelsea were beaten 4-1 by Brentford on Saturday. Manager Thomas Tuchel believes the shock result was just a one-off.
After so many wins and so many good results, I would now refuse to make a drama out of it because why should we? I think that, yeah, Brentford made a lot of the 10 minutes we gave them. It's hard to take because it's very unusual for us.
Arsenal have the chance to leapfrog rivals Tottenham tonight in the race for the top four. The Gunners take on Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park. No win will put them back in the Champions League places.
We're going to focus on what we can do. That's the only thing we can control through the TV. We can suffer or enjoy, but there is not much that we can do. What we have to do is win the football matches that we need to do to achieve what we want, and that's all in our hands.
We now know who England will play in this year's World Cup in Qatar. The three lions will meet Iran, the USA and either Wales, Scotland or Ukraine in the group stages. Football fans in Southampton today are optimistic after Friday's draw.
So what was your reaction when you saw the World Cup draw? I thought it was quite interesting, to be fair.
We're screwed. I was quite happy actually. I think we got a really good chance just to top the group. I liked it.
Do you reckon we'll do better than the last World Cup?
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe. I'd like to think we'd do better, but you never know with England, they're always hit and miss.
It'll be a tournament, a good tournament for England.
Former Manchester United manager Louis van Gaal has revealed that he is receiving treatment for prostate cancer. The 70-year-old is currently in charge of his native Netherlands and made the announcement on national television last night. Van Gaal stated he didn't inform his players in case it affected their performances in the World Cup qualifiers. Barcelona's 1-0 win over Sevilla last night secured second spot for them in the Liga. The Catalan Giants are now 12 points behind league leaders Real Madrid with a game in hand. I'm joined in the studio with our La Liga expert Stanley Ifakuche. Stanley, thank you for joining us. Barcelona, just a few months ago, were very much far behind in the title race, 7th place actually. They're now second in La Liga. What's been the turnaround for them?
There's been changes on the pitch and off the pitch. On the pitch, there's been a new voice, you know, in the dressing room, a famous voice really, and one that was a legend at the club, or is a legend right now. And he's brought fresh ideas, you know, the kind of which Koeman didn't bring to the club, because he knows what it takes to succeed at the club. He knows the identity of the team, and you could just see that he's impacted the team in the way that it should be. You know, we now press as a unit. We now move the ball a lot faster. Defensively, we are more aware now as a team. And off the pitch, the new president and the board, you know, that came in have done the right things financially, have been able to back Xavi with the players that he needs, you know, like Aubameyang, Ferran Torres, Adama coming in on loan. So between Xavi and the president and the board, there's been a massive turnaround in the team.
You mentioned Aubameyang, he's been integral, hasn't he, a change in the fortunes around at Barcelona alongside club legend Xavi in that manager hot seat. Probably a bit too much, is it, to catch Real Madrid this season? Do they look to next season to try and capture La Liga?
Well, mathematically it's possible. We're going into the last 8 games, that will be 24 points to play for. But presently, Barca have a game at hand. We are 12 points behind. We win that game, it makes it 9 points. It's very possible for a team to drop 10 points out of 24. But realistically, looking at Real Madrid currently, the way they play, I will say no. I don't think it's possible.
Okay, thank you very much for your time, Stanley.
And just to add to that, I spoke to a student at the school. He's from Catalonia. And I asked him, you know, the same thing. Is it possible for Barca to win the league this season? And he had the same thing to say. He said no.
I think there are lots of points between Madrid and Barca, and Madrid is a very strong team. Next season, I think Barca can win the La Liga. So, but this year it's impossible.
Great, well, interesting to hear from a Barcelona fan there. Great interview, Stanley, and thank you for your time.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
Thank you. Now then, an anti-racism charity which began as a small campaign back in 1993 is celebrating its 25th birthday. Kick It Out has gone from strength to strength over the past quarter of a century. Our reporter Amber Pereira went out to find more about the role of the organisation.
For the last 25 years, Kick It Out has been at the heart of the drive towards equality for everyone who plays, watches or works in football. Fan education manager Alan Bush explains about the idea behind the educational sessions that they have for fans who have previously made racial statements on social media.
I think it's to try and get the individual to focus on what they've said and the victim impact behind that, the emotional impact or the bystander impact. So it's very much to try and get the individual to think about the impact of their words or actions or their behaviour on others.
There was a fan that posted a racial statement on his Facebook profile and was made to attend an educational session.
The club think I've done something wrong. They've taken my season ticket off me and said I can't go for the rest of this season. And that I've got stuff that I need to learn. Obviously, I think what I said was, I just said it. I didn't hit anyone. I didn't.
Do you think what you said was wrong?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it to someone's face.
Alan felt that the people were able to feel others who had been affected by the incidents that happened post-Euro final.
I think the amount of people that were offended, affected, understood, horrified at the abuse that went on post-Euros or post the Euros final or in the few minutes after the final, I think that people look at that and they're able to understand it. They're able to put a level of emotion, a level of empathy, a level of understanding on it.
Racism and other forms of discrimination is still quite relevant in football and society. Kick It Out is doing all that they can. So let's kick racism and discrimination out of football together. Amber Pereira for Solent Sports News.
Turning to the Women's Cricket World Cup now, and England unfortunately came up short in the suit for new silverware. Australia beat England in the final last night in New Zealand by 71 runs. Aussie batswoman Elisa Haley had a sensational performance, nearly earning a double century with a 170-run showing. English all-rounder Nat Shiver blasted to a century in her efforts with an unbeaten 148. The much-anticipated heavyweight rematch is on the verge of finally being rearranged. Anthony Joshua is looking to regain his World Championship belts against Ukraine's Alexander Usyk. The bout is scheduled to be set for the end of June, with Saudi Arabia touted as a potential location for the fight. Golf's first major of the year gets underway this Thursday. The iconic Augusta Greens will see the best players in the world compete for the Green Jacket Prize. Tiger Woods is set to make a game-time decision on whether to compete in this year's Masters. The 46-year-old has won the tournament an impressive 5 times, but is still recovering from leg injuries he suffered in a car crash 14 months ago. Turning to the adaptive sports world now, Team GB looks to march on to the Invictus Games this month in The Hague. Holden Daly reports from Brunel University.
British athletes are training hard for the Invictus Games in Holland, which is being held just weeks away. It is an international sporting venue for wounded and injured active service members and veterans. But participating in the Games is more than just about sport. Vic Wales, a former Royal Army physical trainer, explains how athletes are finding a new purpose to life.
Invictus is important. It's not just a sport and competition. It's a movement, a powerful one. Just if you come and watch Invictus, you can see the importance of the Games and what it means to people. It's not just turning up and playing sports. It's another chance of life. It's another chance to rediscover yourself. And it's not about what you can't do anymore. It's about finding out what you can do.
Prince Harry was inspired to create the Invictus Games in 2014 after attending the Warriors Games in America, which are a similar sporting event held for U.S. military members and veterans. Since the beginning of the World Sporting Event, many participants have seen their personal well-being shift for the better. Athlete and former British Army Corporal Dan Phillips explains how much the event has benefited his mental health.
Training for the Games has been immensely beneficial for my mental health. I struggled after I was injured and was medically discharged from the army. I very much became a recluse, and I didn't want to leave the house. Whereas taking part in the games has encouraged me to get out and to socialise with people and try to be the best that I can be.
British military athletes not only will be working hard to win gold, but to have a fresh opportunity to bring new life to themselves to the Games. I'm Holden Daly, Solent Sports News.
Well then, that's all from us forever. Sad times here for our Solent group, but a new Masters group will take over this September. From all of us, thank you very much for watching and goodbye.